Okay, here we are. And in this video, we are going to compare some different values, first using a number line, and then when we're done using a number line, we're going to show a second method by changing the form of a fraction to a division. But first, we're going to compare two values using a number line and just ask, which one's bigger? So let's start off with this. So I'm going to find out. I'm going to compare 3/8 with 4/10. So how do I use my number line to do that? Well, here's the number line that we had built earlier. And one thing I could do is I could just take my ruler. Remember, everything is lined up here. Zero's lined up here. All these are worth the value of 1. So I'm going to go to my 8s. And I'm going to line this up at 3/8. So 3/8 is right there. There's 3/8. So I'm going to line this up so it's straight up and down. And if I track, let me go like this. Actually, let me a little mark. So I'm going to hold if I take this and I go straight down and I mark it here, it winds up right here on my decimal line. And I could see that it is to the left of 4/10. That means this distance from 0 to here is less to 3/8. This is 3/8. Is less than 4/10. So I know that 3/8 is less than 4/10. Let's try another one. Let's try 55/100 compared to 3/5. 55/100. So let's start with the 3/5 this time. So I go up to my number line that's divided into where things are divided by fifths, and I go to 3. That's a 3/5. It's not very clearly written, is it? I'm going to line up my ruler. Try again. And I'm going to come on down, and I notice that 3/5 lines up right here at 6/10. Or remember, this is the same thing as 60/100. And 55 is certainly less than 60/100. Because 55 would be right there, wouldn't it? So I know that 55/100 is less than 3/5 because 55/100 is going to be to the left of 6/10. So there was 3/5. 3/5 lines up to 6/10, and 55/100 is right here. It's going to be between 50/100 and 60/100. One more. Let's try this. Let's compare 5/6 with 0 and 81/100. So on this number line that's built here, you notice I went ahead and I divided from 0 to 1 into 6 equal portions. This was a little trickier because things didn't always line up with the lines. But 3/6 is still a half, right? That simplifies to a half, so see how it still lines up. So here's my 5/6. So I'm going to line it up here. I'm going to bring it straight down. So 5/6 looks like it is, make sure I line up accurately here. It looks like it is to the right of 8/10 or 80/100. So these two they're pretty close to it, but it looks to me like 81/100 would be a little closer to this than 5/6 would. So I'm going to say that 81/100 is actually less than 5/6. So 5/6 is greater. But we're going to check this right now. So here are our answers to begin with. And now let's do a calculation so we can get it more accurate. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to compare the numbers by converting our fractions to decimals. So here's our same problem we had before. And when we did this, we had 3/8 was less. So let's calculate. What is 3/8 as a fraction? Well, remember, a fraction is a division problem. That is, it's 8 divided into 3. Well, how many 8s can get into 3? I get 0. That means I have to put in a decimal point and add a 0. How many 8s can I get out of 30? Well, I can get 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Already is looking pretty hopeful, right? And I do subtraction, that's 6. I bring down a 0. How many 8s can I get out of 60? Well, I get 7. 7 times 8 is 56. And I subtract, I get 4. And conveniently, it comes to an end here. Bring down a 0. So there's that 0. Here's this 0. How many 8s can you get at 40? Well, I can get 5. And that 5 times 8 is 40. And that's 0. So I'm at the end. So 3/8 is the same as 0 and 375 thousandths. Well, how does that compare to this? Well, remember, if I can simply add zeros and I have the same value. So I can still see that sure enough, this 375 is less than 400 thousandths, and so this was correct. So let's go to this other problem we did. We did 55 hundredths compared to 3/5. So let's turn our 3/5 into a decimal. That is 5 divided into 3. How many 5s go into 3? 0. That means I'm going to have to put in a decimal point, add a 0, bring the decimal up. How many 5s can I get out of 30? Well, I can get 6. 6 times 5 is 30, and that ends there. So 3/5 is equal to 6/10. I'll bring this down. Well, I can add a 0 here because 6/10 is the same thing as 60 hundredths, and sure enough, 55 hundredths is less than 60 hundredths. So that was correct. Now let's try the one that was a little hard to see on the number line, which is why we need to be able to convert using numbers, because this will be much more precise. So I'm comparing 5/6 with 81 hundredths. So let's do this math. So that is 5 divided by 6. Well, how many 6s can you get out of 5? I get 0. Bring down a decimal. Bring it up, that add a 0. How many 6s can I get out of 50? Well, I can get 8. 6 times 8 is 48. If I subtract, I have 2. If I bring down a 0, how many 6s can I get out of 20? Well, I can get 3. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to get 2 again. Ooh, it looks like this is going to continue on. So I bring down a 0, I have the same problem again. So 5/6 is equal to 0.8333333. This goes on forever. But we can see right here that 83, and even more so, is greater than, is going to be greater than 81. And that is what we had. We had 5/6 was greater. So 5/6 is greater than 81 hundredths. Let me put this number right here so we can have it as a comparison. And it goes on. Isn't 83 greater than 81? Sure it is. So 5/6 is greater than 0 and 81 hundredths. Hope this helps.